Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the graduation ceremony for graduates of the Faculties of Health and Behavioural Sciences and Environmental Sciences. In a few minutes, the graduation ceremony will commence. The procession of staff will enter first. After a brief pause, the university fanfares will announce the entry of the dais party. I will signal to you that you are to rise and remain standing until both the staff procession and the dais party are seated. Please do not stand until I ask you to. May I also remind you that flash photography is prohibited in this auditorium. For the mutual comfort and enjoyment of all members of the audience, the university requests your cooperation in observing this rule.
fellow members of Griffith University Council, Sir Theodore Bray Foundation Chancellor, past members of Griffith University Council, and I include Ms Patience Toms, past Deputy Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor Professor Roy Webb, the Honourable Matthew Foley, MLA, Shadow Attorney General and Shadow Minister for the Arts, special guest Dr David Suzuki, staff and students of Griffith University, including our graduating students, ladies and gentlemen. One of the most satisfying events in the academic year is the formal presentation of awards to graduating students. As Chancellor of Griffith University, I'm delighted to welcome all of our visitors and thank them for joining us as we congratulate our graduates on their academic achievements. The testaments we present in each case will mark the completion of years of personal dedication and effort. Our guest of honour, Dr. David Suzuki, is a distinguished academic, broadcaster and writer, and international expert on the environment. To honour Dr. Suzuki's outstanding contributions to science and the international community, Griffith University will bestow on him its honorary degree of Doctor of the University. It's a pleasure to welcome him. We shall look forward to hearing his address later in our proceedings. 1996 was a memorable and important year for Griffith University. During 1996, we held a series of special events to celebrate the university's 25th anniversary. Highlights of our anniversary celebrations included the opening of the new building at South Bank for our college, the Queensland Conservatorium, a highly successful constitutional debate, a special anniversary ceremony at Brisbane City Hall, and a spectacular laser light show which had considerable impact within the central business district of Brisbane. Our anniversary provided a wonderful opportunity to showcase Griffith's achievements over 25 years and to reflect on the vision of those who laid the foundations of our university and the contributions of those who followed. 1997 will be an equally important year in Griffith's history. Last year, the governing body, the University Council, approved a new academic structure for the university. The new structure, to be implemented on 1st July this year, will play an important part in the future of Griffith University. New faculties and schools based on the four broad academic areas of arts, business, health and science will be established to emphasise cross-faculty and cross-campus teaching and research, strengthen academic coherence across the university, and facilitate a strategic focus in each major area of academic endeavour. Today, Griffith University is one of the fastest growing universities in Australia, with some 21,500 students across 5 campuses strategically located along the Brisbane Gold Coast corridor. What will be our 6th campus is under construction at Logan, and it will admit students next year. Government statistics for the funding triennium indicate that in 1998, Griffith will be the 8th largest university in Australia in terms of funded student load. From its very beginnings in 1971, the university has committed itself to innovation. As a result, it has become widely recognised as a leader in courses designed to equip graduates with the skills and knowledge necessary for them to function effectively in a rapidly changing world. Griffith pioneered university teaching in Asian studies, international business, and environmental studies. Our accurate perception of the relevance of these disciplines to national trends has come to be acknowledged, with most other Australian universities now also teaching in these academic areas. The university's 6th campus at Logan will demonstrate Griffith's commitment to providing the best education for its community. The university is engaged in substantial community consultation in the planning of courses there to meet the dominant regional demand patterns. Subject areas have been carefully developed to ensure that courses will be of international standard and significance. There will be a particular focus on areas where major growth in industry and commerce within the region is anticipated. Our pride in Griffith's achievements must be obvious. We do not lose sight, however, of the dynamic environment in which all educational institutions now operate. The higher education sector, which brought increased opportunities for student access to tertiary education over the past 10 years, is currently under review. The findings of the review committee are likely to have considerable influence on government policy in the years to come, and may well result in fundamental changes in the areas of funding for universities and access for students, and ultimately in the way in which universities conduct their core business. In planning for the new campus at Logan and in the major expansion now being undertaken at the Gold Coast campus, the university has been mindful of the need to develop and implement new structures which will be capable of responding most effectively to necessary change. This evening we will be acknowledging our graduates from the School of Leisure Studies in the Faculty of Health and Behaviour Sciences and from the Faculty of Environmental Sciences. Both faculties have a well-deserved reputation for excellence in teaching and research, and both have recorded significant achievements over the past year. The Faculty of Environmental Sciences has introduced new majors in environmental health and environmental chemistry. Of particular significance is an increased demand for places in the Bachelor of Engineering course in Environmental Engineering. This has been achieved in spite of national trends. Many other universities are experiencing a decrease in demand for engineering and science courses. Graduates from Griffith's courses are keenly sought by companies involved in pollution control and waste management, both of which are becoming increasingly important. The faculty's reputation in environmental studies has attracted more than 60 international students, mainly from India and Japan, for postgraduate study. International links have been further strengthened by the faculty's involvement with universities in Thailand, Indonesia, and Japan. The faculty has recently established the Institute of Environment, Health and Development for the Asia Pacific to conduct research into the needs of the region. The work of the Institute will be supported by a grant of $100,000 from the Jiang Xingguo Foundation in Taiwan. Under a tripartite agreement with the University of Queensland and the Queensland University of Technology, management of the Queensland Centre for Public Health will be undertaken by our Faculty of Environmental Sciences for the period 1997 to 1999. A number of environmental and community health subjects from the faculty are part of the Master of Health, Public Health course, which is offered as a collaborative teaching venture by the three universities. During 1997, the Faculty of Health and Behavioural Sciences will have the Graduate Diploma and Master of Leisure Management courses available to students through the Internet. The university is committed to the development of flexible delivery, and the use of the Internet for delivery of courses will become widespread in the years to come. The Bachelor of Arts in Leisure Management course continues to attract highly qualified students by a high level of first preference applications. The degree provides a qualification that's greatly valued by both graduates and employers. The School of Leisure Studies has approximately 450 students and is one of the largest such schools in the world. Leisure is increasingly recognised as an integral part of modern life. Recreation and cultural activities generate income in excess of $30 billion per annum, and they constitute one of the growth industries of the 1990s. The Faculty of Health and Behavioural Sciences has a strong reputation It has undertaken research on behalf of the Australian Council of Health, Physical Education and Recreation, and the National Parks and Wildlife Service, and has provided consultancy support for all Australian Masters Games since 1991. Let me return now to our graduating students. We've gathered to give them the reputation that is their due. Their courses of study are completed and they are now to receive their awards. All will command the knowledge and skills necessary to perform effectively in their chosen fields of endeavour. Their willingness to undertake the discipline necessary for achievement has been demonstrated. They now possess qualities which will provide an excellent foundation for their lives ahead and the successful careers that we trust now await them. As we continue with tonight's proceedings, I express our warm congratulations and best wishes to each of them. Thank you. I now call on the Academic Registrar, Dr. Lynn Holman, to introduce the Deans who will present the graduates from their respective faculties, the graduates who are to receive their awards at this ceremony.
Chancellor, Professor Bill Hogarth, the Dean of the Faculty of Environmental Sciences, will present the graduates from that faculty.
Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Engineering in Environmental Engineering. Ben Biggs. Matthew Campbell. Onuma Carmody. Michael Dixon. Anthony Gaffney. Nathan Goodwin. Joel Harris. Tai Chi Ng. Susie Oliver. Simon Page. Tanya Prince. Quinton Ryder. Nathan Slater. Florian Stafford. Edward Turley. Stefan Van Rijn. Alison Wright. Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Engineering with First Class Honours in Environmental Engineering. Susan Moody. Anthony Walsh. Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Engineering with Second Class Honours Division A in Environmental Engineering. Robert Collins. Darren Draper. Carmen Gabb. Baden Gibbs. Benjamin McNeil. Catherine Pace. Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Engineering with Second Class Honours Division B in Environmental Engineering. David Arbuckle. Matthew Dudley. Jodie Fielding. Jason Hazlitt. John Linden. Ming Mao. Marta Zetto. Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Science in Applied Mathematics and Statistics. Susan Fletcher. Kathleen Irish. Chancellor, the next graduate has been granted the 1996 Applied Mathematics Medal. Guy Jakeman. Lloyd Lawrence. Anthony McAllister. Gavin Morrow. Diane Fan. Ramon Pollock. Matthew Stevens. Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Science in Australian Environmental Studies. Quinton Andrews. Patricia Balsillie. Melinda Boff. Paul Boyd. Rachel Brazier. Amy Bristow. Damien Brown. Adrian Berger. Shannon Burns. Sarah Carroll. Saroja Chandra. Lee Clark. Mark Cody. Tony Corbett. Sikos. Ian Curtis. Michael Devereaux. Scott Dodd. Shane Gadezi. Rachel Gibson. Vanessa Giles. Anne Gertz. Jason Graham. Lisa Hartley. Kelly Hill. Nicholas Hill. William Hill. Douglas Jacobs. Bernard Jeffries. Paige Johnson. Emma Kirkby. Anne-Marie Lindsay. Kerry Lascow. Lezek Malorcan. Adam Marks. Emma McGregor Lowndes. Siobhan McIlvain. David McLean. Lisa McMain. Gregory Miller. Nicole Moffat. Cynthia Moss. Jason Negus. Jennifer O'Grady. Kate Otterson. Carolyn Pearce. Nicole Pepper. Kayleen Power. Adam Presnell. Jamie Purcell. Karen Rains. Suzanne Randell. Suzanne Round. Anjanette Schimpf. Jane Scarandis Martin. Serena Soon. Warwick Squire. Paul Steele. Craig Strong. Jenny Tanner. Gemma Tickle. Deanna Tomarini. Marion Vanderdonk. Julie Van Dawson. Bernie Wardle. Glenn Warner. Sasha Webb. Paulette Wayne. Brooke Wilden. Diane Williams. Claire Wolfe. Linda Woodfield. Chancellor, the next graduate has also been granted the 1996 Environmental Science Medal, Mark Vadakis. Chancellor, I present a graduate who has been granted the Bachelor of Science with First Class Honours in Environmental Studies, Wade Vadweden. Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Graduate Diploma of Environmental Quality, Kirli Ann Costello. Catherine Everding. Ilana Limbry. Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Graduate Diploma of Sustainable Land Management, Timothy Ellis. Peter Lander. Chancellor, I present a graduate who has been granted the Graduate Diploma of Waste Management, Campbell Wilson. Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Master of Engineering Science in Environmental Engineering, Nick Ordayev. Kim Davey. Nicole Dietloff. Sarah Kill. Ika Bagas Pre Ambata. Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Master of Engineering Science in Waste Management. Donnell Lucy. George Pun. Miguel Varaleta Romaro. Chancellor, I present a graduate who has been granted the Master of Engineering Science in Water Care, Roanne Barber. Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Master of Environmental and Community Health, Ruth Patterson. Susan Perry. Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Master of Environmental Education, Joanne Ferreira. William Heron. Dimity Linus. Graham White. Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Master of Science in Environmental Management, Sonia Carnegie. Ian Gordon. Brooke Hill. Leo Jensen. Pauline Peterson. Chancellor, I present a graduate who has been granted the Master of Public Health, Stuart McKetchin. Chancellor, that concludes the presentations of the graduates of the Faculty of Environmental Science.
Chancellor, Professor John O'Gorman, the Dean of the Faculty of Health and Behavioural Sciences, will present graduates of that faculty.
Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Arts in Leisure Management. Hisami Alimont. Annalisa Ayres. Chris Bann. Sherry Blake. John Bolton. Jane Borman. Lisa Boyce. Adrian Brandon. Elizabeth Brown. Karen Buckholz. Brendan Byrne. Kelly Carlton. Matthew Carruthers. Kerry Cheshire. Gayleen Chin. Glenn Collins. Nadine Dennis. Heidi Drake. Jill Duffield. Benjamin Dwyer. Christopher Eason. Margaret Falkenhagen. Rex Fegan. Tanya Fisher. Julia Foster. Kirsten Fraser. Stacey Frostick. Paul Gaffney. Tamara Gibson. David Giordano. Gary Glasson. Kylie Glasson. Steve Gould. Carla Gurnett. Ian Heath. Kelly Hodson. Tasha Kinnenmont. Tim Kopp. Tracy Liso. Timothy Leon. Nigel Long. Gordon Lucas. Monica Lunarden. Kim MacDonald. Tony Marr. Robert McCulloch. Sally McClellan. Catherine McMahon. Michael Mulek. Rodney Orr. Sonia Oxley. Sally Patridge. Glenn Pike. Kim Polestina. Briody Powell. Rachel Redding. Kim Richards. Kylie Samarowski. Catherine Sansom. Heather Scantleberry. Chancellor, the next graduate has been granted the 1996 Leisure Management Medal. John Schultz. Andrew Scottney. Jodie Scott. Michelle Scott. Sean Scott. Leanne Springall. Sharon Stapleton. Jennifer Stewart. Timothy Sweetman. Joanna Thompson. Jodie Tilley. Shannon Townsend. Angela Trotter. Kathy Waller. Anthony Waugh. Adam Wyland. Lisa Winlaw. Philip Ray. Graham Young. Nicole Young. Chancellor, I present a graduate who has been granted the Bachelor of Arts with First Class Honours in Leisure Management, Whelan Eva Sai. Chancellor, I present a graduate who has been granted the Bachelor of Arts with Second Class Honours Division A in Leisure Management, Alan Catamol. Chancellor, I present a graduate who has been granted the Graduate Diploma of Leisure Management, Matthew Dyer. Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Graduate Diploma of Outdoor Education, Narelle Ash. Miriam Axelson. Joel Birch. John Moores. Mark Munnings. Melanie O'Grady. Michael Travers. Kylie Tweedy. Peter Vaughan. Ross Waltersbull. Chancellor, I present a graduate who has been granted the Master of Arts in Leisure Management, Elizabeth Hanley. Chancellor, I present graduates who have been granted the Master of Arts in Outdoor Education, Daniel Cohen. Rebecca Fox. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates of the Faculty of Health and Behavioural Sciences.
Chancellor, the Chair of the Academic Committee, Professor George Carney, will now present a candidate for the award of the University Medal. This will be followed by the presentation of graduates who have been granted the degrees of Master of Philosophy and Doctor of Philosophy.
Chancellor, the University Medal may be awarded in recognition of academic excellence to a graduate who has completed the requirements for both a bachelor's degree of the university and a degree with honours. Chancellor, I'm pleased to present a graduate of the Faculty of Health and Behavioural Sciences who has been granted the 1996 University Medal, Hugh Lun Sai. Chancellor, tonight the University is proud to honour a graduate who has satisfied the rigorous criteria for the award of the degree of Master of Philosophy. Chancellor, Scott Patrick Lawsay has been granted the degree of Master of Philosophy taken in the Faculty of Environmental Sciences. The title of Mr Lawsay's thesis is Combining Environmental Modelling and Travel Forecasting Using a GIS, a system for modelling the impacts of roads on communities. Chancellor, I present Scott Patrick Lawsay. Chancellor, before proceeding with the presentation of graduates who have been granted the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, I shall, with your approval, read a citation introducing each of those graduates. Tonight, the University is proud to honour its Doctor of Philosophy graduates who have satisfied the rigorous criteria for the award of the degree. Chancellor, the following graduates have been granted the degree of Doctor of Philosophy taken in the Faculty of Environmental Sciences. Dr. Barnes' dissertation examines the relationship between occupational health and safety practices and the work process, risk perception, organisational communication and workplace culture. He found a high incidence and severity of post-traumatic stress disorder amongst firefighters and a perceived deficiency in information provision affecting training and skill maintenance programs. His findings highlight the importance of risk communication to effective emergency response and occupational health and safety of workers. Dr. Barnes. Dr. Bubb conducted pioneering field experimentation near Gympie using the stable isotope 15N to demonstrate that application of nitrogen fertiliser to 5-year-old hoop pine resulted in significant increase in tree growth. The research by Dr. Bubb provides the cornerstone for ongoing collaboration between the Queensland Forestry Research Institute and Griffith University to establish the sustainability of the hoop pine estate. Dr. Bubb. The aim of Dr. Dale's research was to reduce the number of salt marsh mosquitoes which transmit Ross River virus whilst minimising impacts on the environment. To do this, a new and minimal form of physical habitat modification called runnelling was developed. Research focused on identifying mosquito breeding sites, planning runnels and measuring their impacts using a variety of remote sensing and field methods. Runnelling successfully controls mosquitoes, is of small impact and is being widely implemented. Dr. Dale. The conversion of farmland for residential use is a major development issue in the urban-rural fringe surrounding Australian cities. Dr. Newman has shown that farmers strongly support government laws which prevent the conversion of farmland to non-farm use and preserve the traditional farming way of life, but at the same time strongly support individual freedom to sell their farms on the open market for windfall profit. This ambivalence has important implication for developing strategies to preserve farmlands. Dr. Newman. Dr. Sharafi's work investigated the important areas of the food chain, magnification of persistent chemicals such as DDT. Through a detailed study of the dietary uptake and elimination by fish, Dr. Sharafi showed most significantly that biomagnification of these chemicals is only slight. Dr. Sharafi developed a detailed theoretical model for explaining these findings, a model that not only helps our understanding of the biomagnification processes, but offers a predictive tool in the toxicological assessment of other chemicals. Dr. Sharafi. Chancellor, that concludes the introduction of the Doctor of Philosophy candidates. I now ask that they be presented with their degrees. Chancellor, I present Dr. Paul Hartley Barnes. Chancellor, I present Dr. Kenneth Allen Bubb. Chancellor, I present Dr. Patricia Ellen Rosemary Dale. Chancellor, I present Dr. Ronald James Newman. Chancellor, I present Dr. Mossafar Sharifi. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of Doctor of Philosophy graduates.
Ladies and gentlemen, there will now be a brief musical interlude performed by the Griffith University Chorale.
With the authority of the Council, I shall now confer the degree of Doctor of the University. I call upon the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Roy Webb, to make the presentation.
Chancellor, the Council of the University has resolved to award the degree of Doctor of the University to Dr. David Suzuki. David Suzuki was born in Vancouver, Canada on 24 March 1936 and educated at the London Central Collegiate Institute in Ontario. He received a BA in Biology from Amherst College, Massachusetts in 1958 and a PhD in Zoology from the University of Chicago in 1961. In the following years, he undertook postdoctoral studies in Colorado and Tennessee. David Suzuki's distinguished career as an academic began with his appointment as an assistant professor at the Department of Genetics, University of Alberta in 1962. Further appointments at the University of British Columbia, Vancouver followed, culminating in his appointment as Professor, Department of Zoology in 1969. His association with the University of British Columbia has continued to this day, most recently through his work as an associate with the Sustainable Development Research Institute. David Suzuki's significant achievements in research
were recognised early in his career, receiving the E.W.R. Stacey Memorial Fellowship Award 1969-1972 for the most outstanding Canadian research scientist under the age of 35. His most acclaimed research concerned the study of the fruit fly, Drosophila, particularly the genetic control of chromosomes and cell division, the genetic regulation of development, the molecular organisation of genes and chromosomes, and the genetic control of behaviour. He participated in a number of exchange programs, including a National Research Council scientist exchange with France in 1969, the USSR in 1973, and as the NATO Research Fellow in West Germany in 1974. He has represented Canada as a delegate at numerous international congresses on genetics and participated in an exchange program to the People's Republic of China in 1982. Through his work as broadcaster, journalist and writer, David Suzuki has established himself as one of the world's foremost experts on the environment over the last 30 years. He is the author of 23 books, including Inventing the Future, The Wisdom of the Elders, and Time to Change. These works examine the topical areas of Indigenous peoples, politics, science, spirituality and technology, and their links to our living world. A passionate advocate of environmental protection, he is committed to the preservation of things on which human survival depends: our air, water, soil, and biodiversity. The spirit and eloquence of his environmental message has inspired a generation of conservationists. A charismatic and articulate communicator, David Suzuki has worked tirelessly to increase the public's understanding of science. He has hosted a number of television series, specials, documentaries and children's programs, including the award-winning Canadian television series The Nature of Things and Our Planet for the Taking. He has also been involved in a range of radio programs, including Quirks and Quarks, David Suzuki's Discovery, and It's a Matter of Survival. David Suzuki's vision and leadership were instrumental in establishing the David Suzuki Foundation, a federally registered Canadian charity with a mission to discover, support and promote sustainable development. The Foundation is involved with projects such as the Social Change Conference, the Climate Change Conference Project, and the Kaiapó Research Station in the heart of Brazil's Amazon rainforest. During his career, David Suzuki's achievements have been recognised by a number of prestigious appointments and by numerous national and international awards. He was President of the Canadian Society of Cell Biology from 1969 to 1970, Associate Editor of Genetics from 1976 to 1978, and Director of the Canadian Civil Liberties Association from 1982 to 1987. Many honours have been bestowed upon him, including the Canadian Human Rights Foundation Award in 1975, the Canadian Medical Association Medal of Honour in 1984, the Governor-General's Award for Conservation in 1985, and the Royal Bank Award in 1986. Eminent international bodies have also paid tribute to his efforts by awarding him the UNESCO's Kalinga Prize for Science and the United Nations Environment Programme Medal. David Suzuki was made an officer of the Order of Canada in 1976 and was a recipient of the Order of British Columbia in 1995. It is especially fitting that the Council of Griffith University should honour David Suzuki in recognition of his distinguished contributions to science and to the international community. Chancellor, it is with great pleasure that I present to you David Suzuki for admission to the degree of Doctor of the University.
I now call upon Dr. David Suzuki, Doctor of the University, to deliver the occasional address.
My fellow graduates, proud parents and friends, faculty and distinguished members of the platform here. First of all, thank you very much for the great honor you've bestowed on me. But congratulations to all of you who so richly deserve this recognition, the degree today. You must be justifiably very proud, and I salute you for completing your studies here. With your permission, I'd like to address my remarks primarily at the graduates here today. Once every 50 generations, a special moment arrives when we experience a transition, a fundamental transition from one millennium to the next. You are part of the generation that will undergo that transition. You will spend the bulk of the rest of your lives in the third millennium, in the 21st century, a time of unprecedented challenges and opportunities. I'm a biologist, and by training, my biology background encourages me to look back over long periods of evolutionary time. And I view things over that vast expanse, looking back over the 2 million odd years of evolution from our hominid ancestors. You have to say that we human beings have come a very long way in that time. For 99.9% of our history on this planet, we lived in small family groups of nomadic hunter-gatherers. We were very few in number. We had a light ecological footprint. Nature, for most of our existence on Earth, was vast, was endlessly self-renewing and generously abundant. At the dawn of human consciousness, our species lived in a world assaulted by cosmic forces far beyond our comprehension. But the human brain had a genetic need, an innate need to create order out of this chaos. And we painstakingly, over generations, accumulated a profound knowledge base built on our observation, on experience, on experimentation and conjecture. Our distant ancestors recognized that there were regularities in nature. There were patterns that repeated themselves, cycles of day following night following day, the seasons that came and went, the lunar cycles, the movement of the stars across the heavens, the movement of animals at different times of the year, the succession of plants through the seasons. Those cycles gave us a sense that if we could understand them and predict them, we would have some semblance of control over the great cosmic forces that shaped our lives. And what they gave us was a sense of a future over which we had some measure of control. Because by looking ahead and understanding the regularities in nature, we, above all other creatures, had a special ability to choose, to deliberately choose our path into the future. And so human beings long ago began to construct what anthropologists call a worldview. And in a worldview, everything that we know, everything that we see, everything that shares our place with us is all a part of that worldview and all deeply connected. Nothing exists in isolation. In a worldview, the stars, the clouds, the mountains, the forests, the fish, and the birds are all a part of that world and are intimately connected to us. The past, the present, and the future are not distinct times. They are a continuum that are all interlinked. And in such a worldview, human beings understood that they had enormous responsibilities. As part of that complete system, they had the responsibility to do things the right way, to make sure that it continued. Because if they didn't do the right things, it would shatter that world, and there would be enormous consequences. So we needed to practice our rituals, our traditions, our ceremonies. We had to respect our sacred places in order to keep everything on track. And in a worldview, our elders represented the repository of tremendous experience and history and wisdom, and they were absolutely vital to each succeeding generation. Now suddenly in this century, in your lifetimes especially, we human beings have exploded on the global scene. We have become a species unlike any other that has existed on this planet. We are now the most numerous large mammal on Earth, and we are spread everywhere. Our technological power, our consumptive demand, are changing the atmosphere, the oceans, the soil, and the diversity of life that is the basis of the planet's productivity. To get an idea of how rapid the change has been in this century, when I was born in 1936, there was no television anywhere on Earth. My parents didn't have to worry about me watching too much as I worry about my children. When I was born, every year, hundreds of thousands of people died of smallpox every year, and millions were left with terrible scars all over their body. Hasn't been a case of smallpox for over 15 years. It's extinct. When I was a young child, my parents wouldn't let me go to movies in the summer or to swim in public pools because they were terrified I would get polio. Most youngsters today don't even know what polio is because it's carefully controlled. When I was a child, when I was born, there were no computers, no compact discs, no transoceanic phone calls, no satellites, no pills, no birth control pills, no genetic engineering, no microwave ovens or crazy glue. These and many more things have become a part of our daily lives since I was born. The world that you take for granted is fundamentally different from the one that I knew as a boy. Throughout history, people drew on the insights, the knowledge accumulated over time and experience. The wisdom and memories of our elders were crucial for guiding coming generations into the future. That relationship between the generations has been profoundly altered in my lifetime. Since the 1950s, the rate of technological change has accelerated, and as each new technology, and some of the ones that I recounted, have become widespread, society changes and renders the way life was before that technology obsolete and ultimately extinct. There is little knowledge or past experience to guide us into a world of the internet and virtual reality, a world of genetic engineering and cloning, of ozone depletion and global warming. When they become dominant realities, the knowledge of our elders becomes obsolete. Our worldviews have been shattered by technological change, by the information explosion, by our greater mobility as communities and families break down, by the economic disconnection from the real world, by government priorities and bureaucratic subdivisions. The planet is now being monocultured by television and the message to consume the planet up. The planet is being monocultured by the kind of vision that's epitomized. Here I am way down here in Australia. I turn on the TV and there's good old CNN from Atlanta. CNN purports to be world news. It is not world news. It's the world as seen through American eyes. And that worldview, that view of the world is being communicated and rammed down the throats of people all around the world. We are being monocultured by a single notion of development and progress, by global markets and transnational corporations. Those great repetitious rhythms of nature on which our ancestors depended and built their worldviews are no longer as dependable. The web of life is being depleted by the loss of 50,000 species a year. The atmosphere is changing. The soil is eroding. The oceans are being depleted. After the greatest gathering of heads of state ever in human history in 1992 in Rio, it was supposed to signal a fundamental shift in the way that we do everything. Last month I was back in Rio at a meeting called Rio Plus 5 years after that momentous event, to assess what has taken place since the year summit in 1992. And the conclusions there was that governments and the private sector have failed to act on the promises and agreements made in 1992. These are the enormous challenges that you face, challenges that my generation has bequeathed upon you. And I hope that your university education has conferred upon you the greatest gift that anyone of your age could receive at this time. A critical mind, now filled with important information, a mind that is capable of probing the flood of information that is now washing over us. As you question many of the assertions being pressed upon you, you must now seek to rediscover the threads of connection that tie the world together. As a biologist, I believe it is most obvious that these connections are most obvious when we reflect on what we are as biological beings, as we recognize the most precious basic needs that we all have. I remind you that when a child leaves a mother's body at the moment of birth, the first thing that child needs is air. The breath of air the child takes is its moment of announcement that it has arrived and it is alive. And from that first breath a child takes, it will require 20 to 80 breaths a minute until the last gasp on that person's deathbed. Air is not a vacuum or empty space. Air is a physical substance that binds each of us together. We like to think of the rugged individualist walking tall and free. We're not at all. You and I are linked together in a matrix of air. The air that I take deep into the most warm, moist, and intimate parts of my body, when I breathe out, immediately comes out of my nose and rushes straight up yours. What you are doing with every breath is to absorb atoms and molecules that were once an intimate part of my body. And in the time that I've been privileged to stay in this room with you, every one of you now has atoms that were once a part of every one of us in this room. We all have atoms that were once a part of every one of you. And I've now been in Brisbane for 2 days. I have atoms that are built into my body from every human being living in the city of Brisbane. And they, in turn, have atoms coming from mine. We are linked in this matrix, this sacred substance of air. And you and I, if you're as old as I am, we have atoms in us that are not only made up, that came once from birds and snakes and spiders and trees. We elders are made up of atoms that were once a part of Joan of Arc and Jesus Christ. Because air isn't made by some wonderful machine. The air that's here is always here and is being borrowed temporarily and returned back. Air is a substance that no technology can ever reproduce. Air is this substance that is a gift of the earth and life on it. And it's the same as well as biological beings. We are absolutely dependent on water, a sacred substance. There isn't a water generating machine. Water is always here, and water simply evaporates, rains, and cartwheels around the earth. Every one of us is at least 60% water by weight. We're basically a big blob of water with some thickener added to keep us from drifting away. And all of those gazillions of molecules of water have come from all of the oceans of the world. They have evaporated off the rainforests of Brazil and Papua New Guinea. You and I are linked as well by that fundamental glue of water that ties all of life together. Every bit of the nutrition that we consume, however packaged it may be, was once alive. Children are often shocked to realize that food was once living. It's the most intimate relationship that we can have with another being, even more intimate than with your lover. Because not only do you take it into your mouth, you actually take the substance of another being and make it into yourself. You and I are basically compost heaps for the molecules for other living organisms. We are made up of other life forms, and those life forms then bind us to the earth. And when you think about the life that sustains us, that makes us up, you remember the scene out of Jurassic Park with the mosquito embedded in amber. The amazing thing about that mosquito was not that it had DNA that came from dinosaurs. Oh, I mean, that was nice. But to me, what made that scene so remarkable was that if a molecular biologist took the DNA out of that ancient mosquito and the DNA out of its gut from the dinosaur and looked at the genes in it, you would find genes in those DNA pieces that were identical to DNA in you and me. And what they show is that we are related to all other life forms on this planet by our evolutionary history. They are our kin. They're not resources or commodities. Other life are our relatives. And surely those relatives that nourish us, that keep us alive, that keep the atmosphere clean and the water pure, surely we treat our relatives with greater respect than we would treat resources. As we reflect on our biological nature, we have no way of avoiding the conclusion that we are deeply embedded in the natural world and completely dependent on the services that they perform for us in yielding clean air, clean water, clean soil, and the food we eat. As we enter the next millennium, our reconnection with, our reinsertion into, our reenchantment of the natural world will enable us to work, I believe, on a truly sustainable future. And that is the challenge for you, is to rediscover those ties and the fact that we live in a worldview in which everything is interconnected. It's a great challenge, but I have confidence that you can do it. Congratulations and good luck.
Chancellor, on behalf of us all tonight, I'd like to thank Dr. Suzuki for his address to us, and of course an address particularly focused on our graduates. We've been very honoured to have Dr. Suzuki agree to accept our honorary degree and to travel so far to do so, and of course in doing so to give us this opportunity and a number of other opportunities to hear this very famous and justly famous environmental scientist and communicator. And tonight we've had a sample of his communication skills and his capacity to address the environmental issues in a gripping way. I won't rehearse all his gripping phrases, but I do recall the matrix of air, water as the fundamental glue, and perhaps not all that flatteringly, each of us as a compost heap. But then the ultimate theme of his visit to Brisbane has been to emphasise the connectivity of us all with our environment and with our genetic past and with each other. And this is a very powerful message which I'm sure we'll all want to think about and debate and absorb, in the months to come. Ladies and gentlemen, would you join with me again in thanking Dr. Suzuki? And I'd like to add my congratulations to our graduates on their great achievements, to wish them well in their careers, and to join the Alumni Association of the University and stay with us through your careers. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony is now concluded. When the fanfares begin, please rise and remain standing as the Deus Party, the staff procession and the graduates retire.